Transformers Earthspark Season 1. I kind of reviewed this season before a long time in an older video. That video was not very good, didn't have very well defined thoughts, and it was only like a few episodes of the show. It wasn't even the whole season because the way Paramount Plus dropped it was they dropped only a few episodes at a time, and they're going to also be doing that with season 2, which I really hate because they usually advertise the first batch of episodes, but then they don't really advertise the next batch of episodes. So it's just kind of like, hey, there's more episodes now, but you don't get to really know when they drop. So I will review season 2, but I'm going to wait for all of it to be. I'm actually going to go through the first few episodes we have on Paramount Plus right now, and then I'll go through the next batch later. Anyways, that's just this way of me saying stay tuned for a review of season 2. Yeah, that's why I'm re-reviewing this season. Also, I rewatched this season so I can prepare for season 2 to come out. So, I actually really am glad I rewatched this show and saw the entire season this time because I only saw a few episodes. I had all the DVDs, so I just popped them all in and watched them one episode time, and I really got into the show. And I really vibed with the show this time. At first, I wasn't feeling it because, I'll be honest, guys, I feel like we as Transformers fans, this is not the show we want, right? The show we want from Transformers is a darker, more intense show where, you know, the Autobots are the main characters, and maybe there is a couple side human characters, but it's mostly about the Autobots and the Decepticons going at it. And this show really isn't that. In fact, a lot of it is building to that, but also is taking a very much more kid-friendly approach to it. And I think this is the problem with us, right? We as fans are getting too much and not at just sitting around enjoying what we get. Let me explain. He-Man on Netflix got a really great reboot by Kevin Smith. He did a great job, and it's a great show. Revelations and Revolution, is that it? I forget the title of the two different He-Man shows, but they're one and the same, right? They're great. And then they did a kids show on Netflix for the kiddies, trying to get kids into the franchise, and fans hated it. They were all upset. They're all angry. And I just think this is so fucking stupid. Because we want these franchises to continue, right? And that's what's best for these franchises. But they can't appeal to us always if they're going to continue, right? I really loved Indiana Jones 5. But one of the biggest problems with Indiana Jones 5 and why it didn't do so well is kids don't know who the fuck Indiana Jones is. The 21 to 15-year-olds who make up the dominant percentage of the box office don't really know who Indiana Jones is. So it is good that there are shows out there for the younger generation to get into these franchises. And, you know, in some ways I think that maybe adults need to do a better job of introducing their kids to some of this stuff. But kids aren't going to watch the 80s Transformers, but they will enjoy the Transformers movies and things. But there's also other Transformers shows I think you could show kids, like Prime and stuff, that might get them into it. But still, I think this is a good starting point to get a younger kid into Transformers. I mean, this show airs on Nickelodeon. It's a Paramount Plus original show, but it airs on Nickelodeon. They got toys for it, and they run pretty cheap compared to the more collectible toys for the adults, right? So I think this is a fine show. But I also think it's a very good show that's being overhated because of that reason. And I think what's nice about this show is it is just an upbeat show where basically you got these two kids, they're brother and sister. They find this device that creates more Autobots. They end up creating two, and they become linked to those Autobots. And now they're just trying to be a family and, you know, fight off other bad Transformers, which aren't necessarily Decepticons, but kind of are Decepticons. It's kind of a little bit weird, but not like the normal Transformers lore that you would expect. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think they do a lot here with that stuff, and I really enjoy all that stuff. I think the characters in the show, the family dynamic is really strong, and you enjoy all the characters. I mean, I think it's not the most like Transformers show in the world, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, we don't get a lot of like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee. We mostly get these kids and the Autobots. So, and the two Autobots they create, and that's kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of cute humor that as an adult watching the show, I don't really vibe with, but I do enjoy this family dynamic. I enjoy these characters, and I enjoy their conflicts in each episode. And I'm seeing a little bit of season 2. I like that the show is aging the characters up, and they are progressing, and it might be going in some darker directions each season. Not like super dark because it's still a kid show, but I think that's a really cool thing to have the show age and grow up with its audience. And I think this show deserves your time. If you have kids that you want to get in Transformers, it's a good show. If you're just a guy who likes Transformers and you're not really looking for the most serious take on Transformers, you want something that you can just vibe with and enjoy the characters, good show. Recommend it. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.